SEO, CTR, AVD, retention, Endscreens. There is an entire can of alphabet soup jargon that people talk about YouTube. And no one starts YouTube knowing these things. But if you want to be successful in YouTube, you need to learn them. So today is going to be a vocabulary and an analytics teaching day. I want you to know what to look for to grade your channel and what you need to score to make it work well. Welcome to the party. I am Commander Tom, and this is the Gamer's Guide to YouTube, where today I'm going to try and teach you how to level up your own channel and give it an extra life. Let's go to the board and start talking statistics. Alright, so let's start off with probably what's one of the most spoken about acronyms out there, SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and it is a fancy way of asking how high do you rank for the topic you're targeting. Basically, this is grading your title. See, one of the best ways to start as a YouTuber is by targeting search. When you are writing a phrase into the YouTube search bar, how do you rank? Where do your videos land? Now, this is something that obviously we all hope to land at number one. And when you put the time and effort in to learn, you often can. This is something that I've done rather well, getting videos into the top spot. But when they go to 3 or even 4, I'm not upset either. This is something that when you get to be a position of influence and authority in a particular genre, a particular game, since this is the Gamer's Guide, it can even be funny as you're targeting one particular phrase, some of your other work shows up also. Now, I have a unique position and point of view when it comes to SEO ranking. I don't necessarily believe that first necessarily wins. Basically, if your titles and thumbnails rank somewhere 1 through 4, when an individual is searching for a term, at that point, I feel the top 4 is a fair fight, and your title and your thumbnail are doing the swinging. And if you can have a good thumbnail game and if you can have a good title, I think you have every reason to believe a fair shot of attracting a person's attention to your work and winning the click. So let's talk about the click. CTR stands for click-through rate. This is how often do viewers click on your video when it's shown to them. This is something that grades both your thumbnail and your title pair. And the general relationship of this is, as an individual searches for something, their eyes are hopefully drawn to your thumbnail, and that thumbnail encourages them to read the title and also the first sentence or so of your description. So those bits of information are key to have tight, to have locked down, and to have as interesting as possible to encourage an individual to click. At this point, I want to start giving some actual numbers and percentages to target so you can actually tell numerically when you're reading your own stats how these things are working for you. I would say if you have a click-through rate of 6% or so, it's a passing grade. We're still going to want to work on our title and thumbnail game, but C's get degrees. So if you're getting to about 5 or 6%, you can lighten up on yourself a little bit, but keep working. If you get yourself up to about 8% work, start studying those thumbnails that are doing better than others and replicating and duplicating yourself as much as possible. And then when you get yourself to 10% or better, congratulations, you really have gotten a good firm hold on the title and thumbnail game, which is a huge task and a huge tool to be able to make use of here on YouTube. So let's talk about the 30-second mark. How many viewers are actually continuing to watch past the 30-second mark? Once you've gotten a viewer to actually click on your thumbnail, are you hooking them? And what's your intro like? Now, we'll go over all of these subjects in more in-depth video down the road, but for right now, let me make it succinct and advise you to minimize, if not completely eliminate, an intro. At this stage of the game, being a YouTuber, individuals care far more about the information you provide than they do opening credits. To give you an idea of what the statistics look like with 30-second mark, when you have something that has steep cliff drop-offs, such as these, where within 30 seconds people are clicking away from your video, that needs work. That is a first huge problem that every YouTuber has. Now, I will also let you know that all of the statistics that you see on these videos, these are my analytics. So all 4 of these videos were lemons that I created. I worked on it though. And these are the statistics from more recent videos. So there is hope. I had rough videos in the beginning. I have worked to improve. If you take a look at the 30-second marks here, we see that they are vastly better. We can also see that retention overall is a lot higher. So I give you these points of view from earlier in my career to more recently in my career to let you know that yes, I do know what it's like to be rough in the beginning, but I will tell you, if you put in the effort and apply yourself, you can improve. To give you some statistics to shoot for, I would say you want to make sure you're at least getting 2/3 past the first 30 seconds, so 66%. Preferably, we'd like to see that up to 70%. And you do know then that you have a pretty good intro and hook system going on when you can get your viewers to about 80% or more, past that 30-second mark. Again, I'm saying all of these statistics to give you goals to shoot for, but saying it is one thing. Learning how your unique individual personality can do these things to attract the right audience, that is only something that you can put the effort in to actually do and achieve. It is a case of easier said than done. I'm aware of that. But I'm trying to at least put out statistics and goals, whereas on YouTube, and especially for gamers, I've not seen individuals put these kind of numbers out in black and white to target for. Talk about overall retention. How much of your video is generally watched? This grades your overall video. It's the master grade, so to speak. It judges what you say and how you say it. Visuals, music, it's literally everything. That's what retention measures. From experience, I will say that if you can start to get your retention to about 40% or more, you will start finding it much easier to achieve the kind of watch time you need in order to start seeing some forward progression on the platform. Better yet is when you can get your retention up to 50% or better. That is a solid goal I do believe most individuals can achieve if they focus on the topic at hand and put the effort in to making a quality story that people want to engage with. And the goal, a hard, difficult goal, but something that we should all strive for, is keeping 70% retention. If you can clear that, you really, really have a dedicated audience, and that will definitely start to accelerate your channel growth. Now let's talk about AVD, average view duration. This is how long do viewers watch, grading your overall video. Now I know right there you've got to be thinking that, I thought that's what retention was. Well, retention and average view duration work hand in hand. Now, preferably, YouTube would like to see the higher minutes in actual minute form. And that's what average view duration is. But YouTube is also aware that there is medium to long form content, like what many gamers put out, which averages usually about 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and video length. But they're also aware that many individuals are putting out shorter content, shorts under a minute, as well as just a couple minute quick explanation, quick tips, that sort of thing. And quick tips are definitely a type of video I would encourage any YouTuber to explore. So for those videos, this is why they also work at percentages. Because what YouTube wants, number one, is to have viewers keep watching YouTube. So that's why I do believe that your actual view duration will always be the slightly more preferred metric, but they will settle for a satisfied viewer. And if that satisfied viewer can be happy and satisfied and watch the entirety of a short video, well, they can track those videos with the percentage of average view duration. So they are very complementary statistics. We want to keep an eye on both of them. To give you an idea of statistics to shoot for average view duration, I will go into more detail in a separate video, but you're starting to make the grade if you can get individuals watching for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Obviously, you get better at about 3 minutes, 15 seconds. And when you can start to get an average view duration of 4 minutes or more, I've truly noticed where YouTube generally steps in, and that starts triggering a lot more promotion through suggested and recommendations. So 4 minutes is the big goal to get viewers watching to, and these are stepping stones along that way. Finally, let's talk about a statistic that few people talk about, but I think it's a good idea to be aware of. The Endscreen elements show. This is how many viewers actually watched your video to the end. It's basically grading your overall video and outro. And I think it's a good idea to just keep an eye on how many people actually watch your video to the end. This is a hard statistic because people are quick to close out. And if your outro goes too long, if individuals can smell that your video is winding down to the end and that there's no further value for them, there's a lot of videos on YouTube. They move on to the next one. Hopefully it's yours. So if you can make it 2% end screen elements shown, that's a respectable number right there. 5% gets really good, and you are actually really good at holding their attention if you can get their end screen elements shown to 10%. If you can get 10% of the population to watch your video all the way to the end, you are a charismatic individual, and congratulations. Now, to give you an idea of what these grades are in one convenient sheet, I'll go ahead and give you this simple chart for you to take your screenshots, write your notes down. Go ahead and keep this for your records. And I encourage you to, after a video posts, I would say probably give it the posting day plus 7, so about day 7 or 8. Go through and review your video and see how it fell within these statistics. And that way you can start to identify what areas you're having difficulties with, especially after several videos, after 4 or 5 weeks worth of videos. You'll have an idea of where your weak spots may be. Or if something's really spiking high, you'll have an idea of where your strong parts are. This is very simple then. Focus on improving your weak spots, and then focus on holding and expanding on your strong parts. All of this is to help inform you. I have yet to find another resource that has put these kind of statistics together in a dedicated source in which you have specific numbers of percentages of times for the specific stats of categories and analytics to compare them to. This is a key video that I'm trying to put the information out there so that fellow YouTubers can learn it and accelerate their own channels faster than I went through. Okay? If you got value out of this and you think this will help level up your channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you want to know more, that's what playlists are for. I'm Commander Tom, and I will see you next time. Thanks.